If one unexpected expense can throw off your entire financial life, your budget isn't broken. You're just missing one critical piece. Car repairs, medical bills, broken appliances. These may feel random at the time, but here's the truth. These expenses aren't unexpected, they're just unplanned. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Joe, a licensed certified public accountant with over 15 years experience in corporate and public accounting. I have an extensive background in accounting, audit, and taxes, and I'm all about helping you take control of your money by living smarter. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on all notifications. And be sure to check out the blog site where we post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. In this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to budget for unexpected expenses the right way, so they stop feeling like emergencies and start feeling like something you already handled. It's the fact that most people build budgets that only work when life goes perfectly, and life never goes perfectly. So let's fix that. Let's start our conversation around the mind shift we have to have for these unexpected expenses. First, we need to change how you think about unexpected expenses. Because here's the reality, things like car repairs, doctor visits, home maintenance, they are going to happen. You just don't know when. So instead of treating them like a surprise, you have to start treating them like eventual expenses. This is the one shift that can change everything. When you expect the unexpected, you can stop reacting emotionally and start planning financially. So within your budget, you may want to start thinking about creating a sinking fund or even possibly emergency fund just to cover these expenses. Next, let's talk about that emergency fund foundation. Your emergency fund is your first line of defense for those unexpected expenses. This is non negotiable. An emergency fund is money set aside specifically for things you didn't plan for, and it should be kept separate from your everyday spending account. Now, ideally, you want to build up about 3 to 6 months of essential expenses. But let's be real, that can feel overwhelming. So, in order to build our emergency fund, be sure to start smaller. We don't want to overwhelm ourselves by making a big goal. So, we want to start with our first goal. Maybe our first goal is to save up $500 to $1,000 for that emergency fund starter. That alone can cover a lot of common emergencies and keep you from reaching for a credit card. From there, you're going to build it over time. And remember, we're building up to 3 to 6 months of essential expenses, but don't try to make all those expenses at one time. You can't eat the cow in one sitting. So we're basically going to take this big goal of 3 to 6 months, write down what those expenses may be and what our total savings goal is, but we're going to break it down into smaller chunks. So we want to start smaller. Our first goal is maybe even if you can't save $500 to $1,000, maybe try to save $100 to $250 instead, and then keep building from there. The goal is to be consistent. And the key here is consistency, not perfection. Set up automatic transfers, even if it's just $25 or $50 per paycheck, because that's what matters. Isn't how fast you build it, it's that you're keeping on building. So remember, start small. What we're doing here is we're building a practice of good habits, and that good habit is starting small. And the most important thing is being consistent, consistently putting away that $25 to $50 every paycheck. It's not about reaching the goal fast. It's about being like a marathon runner. You want to sustain your pace and make sure you're staying at a good pace to run your race and not someone else's. Here's where most people go wrong. And that is that they budget for monthly expenses but ignore the irregular ones. Things like car maintenance, holidays, insurance premiums, back to school costs, and home repairs. These aren't surprises, they just don't happen every month. So, what do? You break those items down monthly. Let's say you spend about $1,200 a year on car related expenses. Instead of scrambling when something breaks down, you set aside $100 a month. Now, when the expense shows up, it's already paid for. This is how you turn financial chaos into control. Let's talk about building flexibility into your budget. A budget that is too tight is a budget that is going to fail. If every single dollar is locked into a category, there's no room for real life. So you need a buffer. This could be a 5 to 10% of your income that you leave unassigned or loosely assigned. Think of it as your life happens category because something always comes up. And when you plan for that, you don't feel like you're failing every time your budget shifts. Let's talk about insurance and how it can protect you. Let's talk about something people overlook all the time, and that's insurance. Insurance is what protects you from big, unexpected expenses. Health insurance, auto insurance, renters or home owners insurance as well. Disability coverage, and let's be honest, life insurance is one of the most important things you could do for your family to make sure that your kids, or if you have a spouse or a significant other, are okay in the demise of your death, unfortunate death. This isn't just bills, these are financial protection. Because without them, one major event could wipe out everything you've built. So, if you're serious about budgeting for the unexpected, this has to be part of your plan. Alrighty, let's talk about reducing that financial pressure through debt management. Here's something that doesn't get talked about enough. Debt makes unexpected expenses worse. Because when something goes wrong, you don't just deal with the expense, you're stacking it on top of existing debt obligations. So part of your strategy should be reducing high interest debt over time. That frees up cash flow and gives you more flexibility when life happens. One of the things with debt management is making sure that you're paying down that debt. So that way you take off a lot of that financial pressure and anxiety from taking old debt and adding new debt on top of it. You really want to free up that cash flow because that can help you in the long term with saving and putting that money towards something else besides paying off those creditors. So be sure to take advantage of paying down that debt as best you can and as quickly as possible. Let's talk about habits that we need to build. None of these work without consistency. You don't need a perfect system, you need a repeatable one. Tracking your spending, reviewing your budget monthly, adjusting when things change, and most importantly, sticking with it even when it feels slow. Because financial stability isn't built in big moments, it's built in small, consistent decisions. Remember, the most important takeaway here is that we're going to do something that we can stick with, and it's going to feel slow. Building financial wealth and becoming financially independent is a slow process. There's no such thing as get rich overnight, because if you're getting rich overnight, you're probably going to go broke during the day. So be sure to stick to something that you can stick with and make that slow drip that adds up over time. That's the most important thing is making sure that we're being consistent. We don't want a perfect system. We just want something that is repeatable, something that we can actually stick to in the long term and adjusting when things change. So what's our bottom line here? If you take one thing away from this video, let it be this. Unexpected expenses aren't what break your finances. Being unprepared for them does. When you build an emergency fund, plan for irregular costs, and give your budget flexibility, you stop living in reaction mode and you start operating with control. If this video helped you, be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and stick around for more no nonsense financial advice. And if you ever had an unexpected expense throw off your budget, drop it in the comments. I love to hear your experience. And I'll see you next week to break down how to do a budget reset. Thanks for watching.